The 1980s in Japan were a period of unprecedented economic and technological boom. Automakers commanded enormous research and development budgets, and ambitions stretched far beyond the domestic market. This climate fueled bold, sometimes even visionary, designs intended to demonstrate that Japanese automotive engineering could compete in the same league as Ferrari, Porsche, and Lamborghini. The Nissan Mid4 was one of the purest examples of this thinking. Unveiled publicly in 1985 at the Frankfurt Motor Show, it combined the trend toward mid-engine layouts, futuristic styling, and advanced technical solutions rarely found even in concept cars at the time. The Mid4 wasn't conceived as an abstract design vision detached from production realities. Nissan openly positioned it as a potential response to European supercars, including the recently unveiled Ferrari Testarossa. The car was intended to offer comparable performance, modern technology, and a significantly more affordable price, which aligned with the brand's long-term strategy. The Japanese manufacturer wanted to prove that it could not only copy proven models, but also propose its own solutions, often more technologically advanced. The Mid4 was therefore not just a concept, but also a manifestation of the ambitions of Nissan and the entire Japanese automotive industry. Stylistically, the Nissan Mid4 perfectly embodied the aesthetic of the 1980s. Its wedge-shaped silhouette, retractable headlights, low roofline, and wide rear sections evoked both the Lotus Esprit and Group C prototypes. The rear was particularly distinctive, with its unique lamp arrangement and almost full wheel covers, giving it a futuristic, almost cinematic look. The design wasn't overly extravagant. It was clean, functional, and focused on aerodynamics. Crucially, the Mid4 looked like a near-production car, not a flashy mock-up, which only reinforced the sense of a missed opportunity. At the heart of the first Mid4 was a transversely mounted, mid-mounted, 3-liter V6 engine producing 245 horsepower. This unit was mated to a 5-speed manual transmission and powered all 4 wheels. The standard torque split was 33% front, 67% rear, ensuring sporty handling. The car featured fully independent, adjustable multi-link suspension and the innovative HiKIS 4-wheel steering system, a first for Nissan. It was a set of features that made a huge impact in the mid-1980s. The Mid4's drivetrain wasn't a dead end. It became the basis for further development of the Atessa system, which was later incorporated into Nissan production models. The Mid4 thus served as a testing ground for 4-wheel drive performance at high speeds and in dynamic driving conditions. The combination of a mid-engine, 4-wheel drive, and rear-wheel steering provided remarkably neutral handling and excellent stability, making the Mid4 a more advanced car than many European rivals of the era. In 1987, Nissan unveiled a further development of the concept, the Mid4II, also known as the Type 2. The car debuted at the Tokyo Auto Salon and retained the original's general proportions, but featured a more modern, refined design. The front end is still often compared to the Honda NSX, which went into production a few years later, demonstrating how far ahead of its time Nissan was. At the rear, a distinctive diffuser connecting the lights appeared, giving the overall design a more mature and production-oriented look, while still retaining a futuristic feel. The most significant changes to the Mid4 II occurred under the bodywork. The VG30 DETT engine, A 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 was mounted longitudinally ahead of the rear axle. It produced approximately 330 horsepower and 332 newton-meters of torque, placing the car at the forefront of supersports cars of its era. The four-wheel drive and high-cast system were retained, and the suspension underwent further modifications. However, the increase in power came at the cost of an increase in weight, from approximately 1,230 to 1,400 kilograms, which was one of the design compromises. Feedback on both prototypes was overwhelmingly positive among journalists and engineers alike. The Mid4 was considered a car almost ready for production, and its potential price, though high, would still be lower than that of a Ferrari or Porsche. Ultimately, however, Nissan deemed the costs of developing and maintaining such a niche model prohibitive. The company decided to focus on projects with higher sales volumes and a better return on investment, sealing the Mid4's fate. The exact number of Nissan Mid4s built is not fully known. It's believed the first version came in 3 configurations, including 2 right-hand drive and 1 European version. At least 3 Mid4 IIs were built, meaning there may have been around 6 cars in total. Today, they are extremely rare and considered priceless pieces of the brand's heritage, occasionally appearing at exhibitions and in Nissan archives. Although the Mid4 never reached showrooms, its impact on Nissan's history cannot be overstated. The high-cast system and Atessa drive system were further developed in the legendary Skyline GTR R32, and the VG30 DETT engine from the Mid4 II found its way into the production Nissan 300ZX Z32. In this sense, the project fulfilled its purpose, even if indirectly. The Mid4 remains a symbol of an era of boldness, technological optimism, and missed opportunities. One of those cars that demonstrates how close Japan came to creating its own fully fledged supercar, even before the Honda NSX.